Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia. And today we would be talking about episode 4, Tamara's Return, unfortunately. Aired October 28th, 1998, so this was really close to Halloween. And it is kind of scary that she did return, so I guess that fits.
So it's basically your Halloween episode.
So the
Synopsis is
Tamara, who left town to avoid a scandal after her affair with Pacey was almost exposed, shares an awkward reunion with him as she's temporarily back and is trying to sell Mitch a warehouse, which he hopes to open his own restaurant. The encounters trigger old emotions in Pacey and curiosity in Andie, who asks Dawson if Pacey likes her. Meanwhile, Joey finds a new joy in art and takes the time visiting a gallery with Jack, who shares her newfound love, but Dawson does not have the same interest. Also, Abby tries to get Jen to help her flirt with an older man named Vincent, who rejects Abby's overplayed advances but takes an interest in Jen. Oh boy. So now this time we start off with Joey and Dawson making out outside at the ruins where he took Jen, right?
I have no idea, but I can't remember that. But all I remember is it was just so awkward.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable to watch.
I was like, stop kissing. I can't watch this.
Yeah, so after a moment, Joey stops saying that she needed to be somewhere else with no bugs and exposure to weather. Dawson points out the romantic reasons to be outside, and Joey believes it, and they end up making out again. So
No, I got nothing from that. What did you think of the makeout session?
like I said, it was just uncomfortable. I didn't like it.
It looked really weird. Sorry, but they don't have passion.
Right. And then I believe the theme song played after that. And then back. Next, we see Dawson out with his dad in town looking for locations for his restaurant, which is out of the blue.
Well, and isn't Dawson supposed to be in school? I mean, what time do these kids go to school?
I don't know. I thought it was like right before school, maybe, I guess.
Because why would you... I know, but our school, we start early, so, you didn't have time to sit there and go shopping.
I know, I think some schools like start at 9.
Well, they must start at 9 because there's no way they would have had time if they started at like 7:30.
Right.
You only have time to roll out of bed and still be late.
Right.
But yeah, I think isn't it odd that Mitch is opening up a restaurant? I mean, I didn't know he had, like that he could cook or anything.
Yeah.
And that was his talent or
passion
or anything.
Yeah, we haven't seen him do anything, just be at home.
Yeah, just be Dawson's parent.
And Gail's,
Gail's husband. So I haven't seen him do anything. So
yeah,
it is out of the blue. You're right.
But at least they're giving him something that's not about the affair finally.
Yeah, and luckily she wasn't in it this episode, so we didn't have to hear about it.
Yeah.
Because every time she's in it, we have to hear about it. So I was happy we could just see him in a different light.
Yeah. And the woman Mitch is meeting with about the property is owned by
none other than
Miss Jacobs, or Tamara, as she tells Dawson to call her, since she's no longer his teacher. And seeing her again obviously shocks Dawson. It shocked me seeing her at the end of the episode.
And I didn't know that she was Dawson's teacher.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We never said anything. It was always just Pacey's teacher.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically she was probably for the whole grade, but yeah,
I know, but they never really said it. It was just, she was always just Pacey's teacher and a teacher at the school. They never said it was my teacher too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we would have said. I just thought that was odd. All of a sudden, she returns and, oh yeah, my teacher. That was out of the blue too.
Then at school, Dawson tries to tell Pacey who's back in town, but Pacey asks if he owes him money again before the bell rings, making Pacey tell Dawson to tell him later. So,
well, yeah, because Andie walks up and Dawson's like, I can't say anything now.
Yeah. But still, if a friend has to tell you something that seems urgent, wouldn't you like stay around for a second to hear?
Yeah, but also, why didn't Dawson just whisper it in his ear?
I don't know. He could have wrote it down and gave him a note. I don't know.
I know. Many things you could have done, Dawson, besides just stand there and stare at them, and then Pacey walks away.
Now Joey and Jack.
Well, but I was just like, if it's that important, just whisper it.
Right.
So-and-so's back.
And now Joey and Jack are walking in the hallway, and Joey tells Jack that he can have the day off of work because Bess has no one to watch the baby because we have no idea where Bodhi is, and she's going to an art lecture. also seems a little out of the blue, like, again, no interest in art until now, but they're just finally giving the character something to,
I was happy that we got to see a different side of Jack.
yeah.
We've only seen him at Joey's family restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So we've never even seen him in school. I mean, I didn't even think he went to school until now. All of a sudden, they have a class together.
Right. Yep. So Jack volunteers to open and work the place by himself. Joey reminds him of the mistakes he's been making since he's been working there, but decides to give him a shot as a test run and tells him to not set the kitchen on fire.
And I have another question.
Yeah.
Why in TV shows do they always bring their book bags to class?
I have no idea.
When we were in school, we were told they had to stay in the locker.
Right.
That's why you have a locker. That's what they would tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone tried that, they would make them, they wouldn't, let them in the classroom.
Right.
So is every school like that?
I don't know. It has to be a TV thing because, like, it would
they
only...
all do it on TV, but they all have lockers too. Wouldn't you put it in your, then what would be the reason to go to your locker if you have a book bag?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It would make sense if they didn't have lockers, but yeah.
Yeah. And it's just weird because bringing a book bag in, it would be more clutter in the classroom,
Mm-hmm.
which teachers don't like. So it's definitely, I think, a TV thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. Like you were just at your locker. Put your book bag there.
Yeah. I don't know. We see Jen and Abby at lunch, and Abby tries to convince Jen to go shopping with her because she has all this money.
How much money did she have?
I didn't really look. It was...
I don't know. It was a bunch of cash, and I didn't see how many, like, if it was 20s, 50s, 100s either, but it just
Right.
seemed like a lot of money. And
Yeah.
she's just bringing it to school. I
Mhm.
guess she doesn't care if anyone steals it.
Yep. But Jen tells her she's not in the mood to shop because she wants to mope. Abby lets the cafeteria know how frustrated she is that Jen is all about Dawson still.
Well, and then she said, what kind of girl doesn't like shopping? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I have to, like, be in the mood, and it's not really often.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like going shopping?
Yeah, but I'm just different. And but then I don't have the money, so that's why I don't go. But
Yeah, I'm like, I just have to be like, I don't just like wake up, oh, I'm going shopping. Like, no.
Mhm. Right.
I try to save my money, and that's probably why
Yeah.
I don't like shopping. Because if you go, then you're going to see something. So I just don't go.
Right. Yep. And then Abby tells Jen to go with her, or else she could drown in all the dresses and hair gel.
And all of a sudden, Abby likes shopping.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, like that does kind of seem to fit her personality.
Do you like Abby and Jen hanging out together?
No.
Me either. She's trouble.
Yep.
But also, there's no one for Jen to hang out with.
Right.
She has no friends.
Yep. Unless they brought in a new character, or for some reason her and Andie started hanging out, but that's unlikely.
Yeah, that wouldn't seem right.
Yeah. Now, this is another random thing that you wouldn't bring to class with you. In class, Andie drops a pile of tapes on the floor.
Oh, yes.
But, why does she have them in class and, again, not put them in her locker at least?
I know. It's not even a film class like you would need
Yeah, that's what I
to
put,
bring
too.
anything.
Yeah. Yep, she's not in film class. But Pacey ends up picking them up and points out that he loves Disney's Dumbo when he sees it, and how sad it was for Dumbo to lose his mom, that he even cried. I thought that was funny. That was cute.
I know. Like, is he really being serious?
Yeah, I thought he was kidding at first.
I know, because when he said, I love Dumbo, I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, and then it throws Andie off, too. She was
I
surprised.
know. She's like, whatever. Like, stop, like, making fun of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then Pacey mentions how he has no plans after school, so maybe they could walk around town together.
Well, and then when he first, like, walks up to her, he said, I just thought you were a freak in general.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, who says that?
Mm-hmm.
And also, with those movies, it definitely brings you back to when we were kids.
Right.
Because when we were like teenagers, it was DVDs,
Mm-hmm.
but it was VHSs back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, those things were, had a lot of plastic to them, so, like, if she dropped them, that would make a lot of sound, too.
And if you tried to play it, like if it dropped wrong, it could damage it and it won't
Mm-hmm.
be able to play right.
Yeah,
I hated that.
me too.
Like if it messed up one little thing, you were done.
Mm-hmm. Andie thinks he's joking about going out, but after she sees that he's serious, She says yes, but asks if he's going to push her in front of a bus. Pacey says it's an interesting idea. He hadn't thought of that.
And Andie wants to go.
Mm-hmm.
She's just trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever, Andie, you want to go with him.
Mm-hmm. At the art lecture, Dawson has joined. Now, this actually have you watched Friends?
Yeah.
Okay, because it reminded me of that too, where, hold on.
I'm like, where are we going with this?
Ross, went to a fashion lecture with, Rachel and was bored of it. I think he even fell asleep, I think, maybe. Anyways, it was the same scenario.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, same scenario. Like the girlfriend wants to go to this lecture, and the guy's not interested. He thinks it's boring, and then they get into a fight.
Go.
Yeah, yeah,
because she can go by herself.
Yeah, because Ross didn't take it seriously either. Of that being Rachel's passion. So
yeah, so why didn't Rachel go by herself or bring someone else, one of the girls?
Well, I'm sure after that she never took him again. But yeah. So Dawson has joined, but he seems to be confused on what the instructor is talking about. Afterward, Dawson says that the art has more questions than answers. It's unresolved. Joey lets him know that just because art isn't what like his movies are doesn't mean that you don't have emotion.
Well, and then, he said it was like boring or whatever. But then when the teacher comes out, he said it was great. I'm like, you are such a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, so the instructor walks over to Joey and Dawson offers them to take a beginner's art class. Dawson says he has to work while Joey says she has no art skills. I think
even if he didn't have to work, he would just say he had work.
Yeah.
But I still don't get why he'd go. If it's not about film, why is he attending?
He was probably just trying to be supportive.
Oh, whatever.
And
he doesn't like it. So the only thing he likes is his movies. His movies, not what anyone else likes, just what he likes.
Yeah, Spielberg.
Yeah, it has to be that. Otherwise, he's not going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And so why would you go to the art class and then sit there and make fun of it?
Yeah.
When Joey was all into it.
Mm-hmm.
If you see that she's all into it, shut your mouth. You don't agree?
No, I do. Yeah. Like I said, he was trying to be supportive until he
wasn't.
Yeah. So the instructor tells Joey that she doesn't have to be Picasso. She just needs to be willing to be in the art class. Now, Pacey and Andie are taking their walk when they run into Tamara. Pacey is stunned to see her and
Your favorite person.
My favorite person?
I was just kidding.
Oh.
I don't think either one of us like her.
No. Not at all. Yeah, so Pacey's too stunned to speak, and when he does start speaking, he can't keep the orders of his words right in his sentences.
Well, and then Andie's like, you look like you saw a ghost.
Mm-hmm. Kind of did.
Well, yeah, he's probably like, is she real?
Yeah. So since Pacey is speechless, Tamara introduces herself to Andie and lets her know that she used to be Pacey's teacher. She says it was nice to see him again and nice to meet Andie. After she walks away, Pacey is still shook by her appearance and tells Andie he has to go.
Yeah, but what does Pacey say when he was trying to introduce Andie and the teacher?
He was, yeah.
He said, I was her teacher and she was my student.
Yeah, like I said, he couldn't get the order right with the nouns, yeah.
And then Andie was funny. She's like, what'd she do, flunk you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she knew something was off. Yeah, so basically Pacey ditches Andie to go follow Tamara to the place she's selling.
Here we go again.
I knew that's what he was doing the second he said he had to go.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, really?
Because you have nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you told Andie you're free.
Yep.
And that you two are going to hang out.
Yep, and then he just ditched.
Yep.
In the art class, Joey impresses the art teacher and tells her Joey has a gift. Joey ends up telling the teacher that she used to draw to want to be like her mom when she was little, but she had died a few years ago from cancer. We finally get a time frame about that because it seemed like it was longer than that, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And we never, really knew how she died. They didn't really go into detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know what kind of cancer it was or how long it took, like how long she was sick and going through treatment. So, yeah. The teacher tells her that art is in her genes and can recommend some art classes for Joey to take so she can improve her work.
And I was happy that she was doing something that her mom loved.
Me too.
Because she needs to bring that into her world and not kind of shut it out. Because that's what she seemed like she had done when her mom passed was, kind of closing that part of her, probably to heal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's time that she, what's the word?
Just grow into her own thing.
Yeah, and see what she likes,
mm-hmm.
and stuff. And clearly it's art.
Yeah.
See, so she has something in common with her mom.
Mm-hmm. And then...
And one last thing with Dawson.
Yep, and that becomes a problem later. But now at Dawson's, this is the part we're talking about before we were recording with Andie when she was holding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Andie drops by at Dawson's to ask about a homework assignment.
This is such a weird scene.
But really, it was a cover-up because she wanted to know if Pacey had said anything to him about liking her. Dawson says no, and Andie automatically turns to leave, embarrassed, until Dawson says it's a possibility that he just might not have mentioned it to him.
And what was she holding?
That was the last part in my notes. Watch, hold on. Just wait. Dawson asks if Andie likes Pacey, and at first she says no, and then says maybe, possibly. Dawson tells her to tell Pacey, but she can't because he's obnoxious and a pig, and has Dawson swear he won't tell him, but of course he's
Liar.
Mm-hmm. Dawson tells her the way that Pacey's acting could be his way of flirting. Do you think that is true?
No, I think Pacey, he didn't really like her from the beginning. It was just,
Yeah.
remember the rich girl,
Mm-hmm.
spoiled rich girl, that's all she really was until now.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he likes her. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's so hard to tell, especially now with Tamara back in town.
I
Like,
know,
he kinda
because
just-
now he put, like, if he liked Andie even a little, I feel like he would have still hung out with her
Yeah.
and, like, met up with Miss Jacobs later.
Mm-hmm. So while having this conversation, Andie ended up nervously twisting a pair of Dawson's clean, thank goodness clean, boxers from his laundry basket. She must have thought it was like a towel or something until the last moment when she was going to leave.
I'm like, oh my God. What are you holding?
Yeah, because
That was just so awkward.
like you have to be really nervous when you're not
Okay,
aware of what
but
you're
to
doing.
hold someone else's clothes, go to someone's house and hold their clothes.
Well, I've done things when I have days out too, so
But
I can understand how she ended up
but to
doing that.
hold their clothes.
I know, and we didn't even steer a grab it, which is a thing too.
I know. And usually I pick up on those things.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw him hold them when he opened the door. And then, I don't know, he must have put them down because they were walking in the kitchen or whatever. And then all of a sudden I look and she has them. All right, weird.
Yeah, so Dawson didn't tell Pacey about that, but... So now, after Jen and Abby's shopping spree, they sit outside for lunch when Abby spots an older man, and Abby instantly likes him. Jen points out that he's twice her age and could be her dad, but that just makes Abby want him more,
Why?
saying she's tired of these little boys, I guess.
What? What is up with this show?
I know.
Every storyline, every guest star, it seems like when they bring them in, they're always older. Doesn't it seem like that?
Yeah, except for that yacht or boat guy that Joey went with that one time. That was the only age-appropriate
Yeah.
person that came in.
But that was it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone else has been like older. Like, come on. I think they're addicted to the storylines.
I know, and this is still going on in the same episode that Tamara's back too, so it's like double the plot line.
I know, it's like when she enters, we remember what happened. We don't need to see it twice.
Yep. Yeah, so Abby asks the man for his name, which ends up being Vincent. Abby invites him over to their table, but he says he has to go to work soon. Before he leaves, he asks Jen's name, even though Abby had already said it when she introduced herself.
Yeah, he must not listen to Abby.
Mm-hmm. So,
But really, who does?
I know. So Vincent has no interest in Abby, but Jen seems to have caught his eye, so now it's basically Pacey and Tamara 2.0.
Gross. I mean, I'm sorry, but he looked old.
Yeah, he did. At least in his 30s, so just everybody in their 30s.
Yeah, but she's only 16.
Yeah, I know.
So that's just gross.
That's still like about double her age, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I was not into the scenes at all.
Me either. Outside her house, Joey is working on her art assignment when Dawson shows up and wants to see what she's drawing. He says he's a new fan of her hobby,
I know, all of a sudden.
making her point this out while his film making is a passion. Dawson tries to take it back, but Joey is upset, so she tells him that she needs time alone to finish her work.
Yeah, are you going to stick up for him now?
No.
Because, he did call her art a hobby. Mm-hmm. And I was so happy that she said, Dawson, why is my art a hobby when you're, what was it, your film?
Making, yeah.
Yeah, is it?
Right.
It's like, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know. And then he said, oh, I knew the minute I said, whatever. You're just trying to cover what you said. Because let's be honest, that's what you really mean. Because think about it. if she's not into what he's into, he's not happy.
Right.
And he should be happy that she found something up for herself. And she wants to try something new.
Yeah, that's
but,
true.
you know, that's not what Dawson is. It's all about him and his filmmaking and her being just like the assistant and, you know, the actress in the movies.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything to change.
Yeah, it's all about his world and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not okay.
Right, exactly.
And also, it seems like every episode so far that they've been together, there's been an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think this is going to last?
No.
Not the rate they're going.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this last night. I'm like, they're always fighting about something now.
It's every episode.
And they did fight as friends, but now it seems to have gotten worse now that they're a couple. So that was already the red flag of not to
get together.
Yeah, so now it's starting to annoy me. But yeah, so Joey gets up to leave.
I mean, I'm okay with them fighting every episode and not having a happy episode, but you know, I don't know why they shoved Dawson and Joey, as in the writers, why they shoved them down our throats when all they're doing is making them fight every episode. All you're doing is making us not want them together.
Yeah.
I don't understand that one. Do you?
No, like I said, sometimes friends that become a couple can have that transition, and some can, and they definitely can't.
Well, yeah,
so.
they definitely can't.
Yeah.
I think they could have. Dawson would stop it and let her be who she wants to be.
Yeah.
But he can't do that. So, you know, he's not a normal person.
Yeah. He just doesn't understand. And then, yeah, so she gets up to leave to go finish her work. And he says, is this really the way she wants to leave the conversation?
Yes, it is.
And she says, like, what? Unresolved? Referring to what he said about the art lecture.
See, he's not supportive
Nope.
of what she wants.
Nope.
Get rid of him now.
Pacey meets Tamara back at her old house. I really wish he didn't, but he did.
Why? And okay, my thing too about that scene, she's just by the water, just waiting for him. You saw that, right?
Yeah, like
she's just standing there like waiting, like, oh, when's he coming? Because she knew he would.
Yeah.
So disgusting and so disturbing all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, too bad somebody hadn't already moved into her old place, so then they wouldn't have been able to meet there. But
that was my thing too. Is she has a waterfront property?
Yeah, it should be taken by now.
Those go fast. Those are the first things that go because everybody wants to be on the water.
Yeah.
So it is weird how it wasn't sold.
Right. Yeah, that was weird. So she teaches him what a pincher moment is, which is having a moment of things said silently to each other, because using words to express how they feel is too overwhelming.
Did you like that part?
No, because I've never even heard of the word.
Me either.
I looked it up and it said like a UK slang of being drunk. So I was like, well, that's not that. So yeah, so that was random. And even Pacey's like, who is this pincher guy? And she tells him to stay in school. And he says, yes, Miss Jacobs, which I didn't like, but.
Okay, that was the other thing. The whole first season, anytime she would say, you know, Miss Jacobs, he would always say Tamara.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, he says Miss Jacobs.
Right.
What?
I think just because she said school, so.
And when he was in school and she was the teacher, he still said Tamara.
Yeah, I know.
And she always had to correct him.
Yeah.
When they were in school.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't
not in school? And she's not a teacher anymore, so.
So why wouldn't you call her by her first name then?
It's just the banter part of saying like stay in school. It's like, yes, Miss Jacobs, you know, to follow along with that.
Whatever. It was weird. It's like the first time he's going to say her name.
So the next day, Dawson is talking about Joey's new love for art, and how.
Oh my God, he won't stop it.
And how it's making him nervous about what to do and say when it comes to it. His father says it might not be about what Dawson said or did. It might be about something else.
Okay. Do you agree with that? Do you think Mitch is right?
I mean, he's half right. I think it could be both reasons, like about Dawson.
But I also
and
do
something
think how their fight started was because he said it was a hobby and he wasn't supportive of it.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like laughed at it at the
lecture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Joey was, and you know, obviously when someone's like kind of like laughing, making jokes, you're like, well, I'm not going to, you know, talk about this, even though you want to. And so, no, it started because he wasn't on board and supportive and just shut his mouth. Yeah. See, that's the thing. He needs to learn to shut his mouth. You don't think so?
No, he should, yeah. And Mitch says that Dawson should find out what that out might be. And then right as Mitch walks out, Pacey walks in, and Pacey's mad that
It was
Dawson,
funny.
yeah, mad that Dawson didn't tell him about Tamara being in town, but he did try to tell him. Pacey shouldn't blame it on Dawson for not listening when he
I know.
tried to
I
tell
was
him.
like, well, I mean, Dawson did try, but he should have whispered it or wrote a note or something.
Yeah.
Or couldn't he have just walked to class with them?
Yeah, I mean, they probably had different classes and the bell
I know,
did
but
ring,
just start walking and then turn around and go back to your class.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
If you and I were in the hallway, I would quickly run up to you, tell you. It was only just to say Miss Jacobs is back, and that was it. One little line.
Right.
And then you turn around and go head to your own class. That's all he had to do.
Yeah, like
So he tried, but he didn't try that hard.
Yeah. I mean, it was 98, so like today, like you would just text the person, you know?
Well, I would never have taken my phone to class.
Well, I know. I mean, you could just like send the text and then have that person read it later after class, you know, so they wouldn't have
I would
to
have
wait.
got it after school though, so you know.
Oh well, I would have texted. I've been just like.
I wasn't the one to bring my phone to class.
Yeah, I wasn't either, but I'm just saying like I would have like texted.
Yeah, but I didn't have time. We only had 4 minutes, okay, to get from side to side and go to your locker. So I didn't have time to do that.
Yeah, and then Dawson could have even put like a note in Pacey's locker too, maybe. So he could have read it.
Yeah, that's what I said. He tried, but not all the way.
Yeah. And
I think he was just kind of too like, well, I tried.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Pacey tells Dawson he's still not over Tamara. Dawson throws the idea out about Pacey dating someone his age and staying away from Tamara.
Oh my gosh. Dawson did make me laugh here.
About what?
When he told Dawson, or when Dawson told Pacey, he said, you should date a girl. Or you should be with a girl. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dawson does bring up, because Pacey's like, who? And Dawson's like, ends up telling him that Andie came over and told him that she likes him.
Well, he first said, the girl that came over, and Pacey's like, who? And he's like, well, I don't know if I should say. And then, of course, he does. It's like, Dawson.
And Pacey says that Andie hates him, and Dawson says a girl hating a boy is kindergarten psychology. Yeah.
So does that mean Joey likes Pacey?
I know, like.
Did you think of that?
No,
when
not
he
really.
said as much as she hates you or whatever, that means she likes you. So
No.
does that mean that Joey likes
No, because
Pacey?
I don't like that. Like people saying like, "Oh, this person likes you because they're being mean to you." That shouldn't be the way that someone shows someone else that they like them.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what they do.
I know, but it really shouldn't. That's not a good thing. Yeah, so at the restaurant, Joey asks for the day off to go see an art exhibit, and Beth suggests that Joey take Jack with her. She makes fun of the fact that there's priceless art and Jack could break them like he does the dishes at work.
Oh, and when Joey, in the beginning, when Joey and Jack were talking about opening the restaurant.
Yeah.
So if Bess went on maternity leave, remember she had the baby.
Right.
Who was opening the restaurant?
Probably Joey.
But she had to go to school.
Maybe she missed some school. I don't
understand, because then Jack's like, well, because Joey goes, well, Bessie, can't open. And so then he said, well, I'll open. I'm like, what?
That's probably when Bodie was still around, because he just kind of disappeared.
No, he disappeared after the baby was born.
Not like right after. I think he was probably there for some weeks at least. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
It's just so weird. I'm like, wait, you both are in high school still. How are you going to open up a restaurant and be there?
Yeah, all day.
And also, why? That's how you're making your income. So why wouldn't Bess be there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so she's the only one that can open the restaurant.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so
interesting, because remember, she wasn't really working when she was bossing Joey around that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so since you've seen the show, like, is this going to be a common thing, like, where Bodie's just not there anymore, or?
Yeah, he doesn't show up very often.
But he still, like, exists. He's still part of the show. He's still, like, technically with Bess.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just doesn't really show up.
Okay. I guess that made sense to the writers. And
I guess they didn't want to pay another person.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. Gail isn't even in the episode, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jack agrees to go with Joey. And then back at the location that Miss Jacobs is selling, she's showing Mitch around, who asks if the reason she left town and is selling this place now was because of a student. So does this mean that he knew it was Pacey, or
That's
like how did he even hear? I mean, I figured it's small town. He heard the rumor, but like,
but wasn't she cleared?
yeah,
Wouldn't that have went around right after that she was cleared and that it didn't happen? Because after that episode, we did not hear about it except for the detention one when Abby brought it up to Pacey, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't hear about it in the hallways or anywhere else that it was still going on, the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
So if she was cleared that day, why would it still be hanging around her life?
I know.
Because didn't she leave town to start a new one?
Yeah, and if I was Mitch, I would be like kind of asking her like if it was true, like
Right.
because it's suspicious again that she left and now is selling this property.
But then it's weird because she brought up of it. Because we said, well, wasn't a student and stuff like, what's look like hanging over you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it made no sense because I'm like, she was cleared.
Yeah.
So I don't get how it would still be hanging over her or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of things that are unanswered.
And plus, did she get a new job?
Yeah, we don't know that either. Yeah.
She didn't say that.
No.
At all. So maybe
We
she
just know she's
couldn't
not a
get another
teacher.
job. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the rumors got to wherever she went and she couldn't get a job. I don't know, but they don't say it.
Yeah.
It's just, he brings that up just randomly too,
Mm-hmm.
as if he knew about it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was weird. But literally, I was like, wait a minute. She was cleared. So the rumors should have stopped.
Right. And now Jack and Joey are at the exhibit where Joey learns that Jack is all into it and knows a lot about the artists that they see the work of. Completely the opposite of Dawson. Joey gets lost into what Jack's saying. For a moment, he says how someone shallow could just walk by these paintings and call them meaningless. This probably makes
who's
it think of
she talking
Dawson. Yeah. Joey is really impressed by how deeply Jack feels about the art and apologizes for making fun of his waiter skills. Later,
She was mean.
yeah.
It's like, that's his first job.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be so mean to him.
Yeah, she's probably been working at the ice house for
Since
years.
it opened.
Yeah. Probably since she was technically legally old enough to work. Isn't that like 14 or something? Or,
Yeah, but
or maybe it's 16
you can probably,
now,
but you can probably get away with it if you don't pay them, if you pay them under the table.
right.
Like if it's your kid.
Well, that'd probably be illegal, but
Yeah, it is. But I'm sure people that own restaurants do it because they need their kids' help.
mm-hmm.
Because they don't want to pay, an actual employee. So
Right.
they'll just pay their kid.
Mm-hmm. Later, Jen and Abby find Vincent at the docks. Abby attempts to flirt with him, but he tells her that he's not interested in some oversexed, condescending teeny bopper. So this made me think that he had a brain and could see that Abby was way too young for him until he asked Jen out. And Jen did try to be a good friend and stick up for Abby, saying like she likes you, give her a break to Vincent. But it did look like she kind of got swept up by Vincent's charm at the end there.
I
Do you
don't think
so?
the guy was charming. Do you?
No, to Jen he was, but
I don't see what she sees.
mm-hmm. So now Joey and Jack are walking together after the art exhibit, and Jack tells her about how he wants to see her drawings and that she should really take the art classes. That
So supportive.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Didn't you love that Jack was so supportive?
yeah, I did.
The opposite
Mhm.
of her doofus boyfriend.
Yeah. So they're talking till Dawson shows up. Dawson wants to see the exhibit, but Joey tells him that she's already seen it and she knows that it's
Yeah.
not his thing.
They just walked out of there. Where do you think they've been?
I know, he
Especially
didn't-
when Beth said, because he said, I went by the restaurant and Beth said you were here. Well, then obviously, if they're walking out, she has already seen it. So it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he didn't put that together apparently.
No, he's just stupid.
And then so Jack leaves.
Well, and then Joey was funny. She was like, oh, no, you can come with us. Yeah, like he wants to be the third wheel.
Right. And Dawson said he's still trying to be them who analyze, debate, and disagree about movies. So he thinks it's refreshing to change the subject to art. So Dawson gets mad that she's not talking to him about how she's feeling. So he demands to know what's changed. And she says nothing has changed and she's tired of it. She walks off.
I was tired of it, too. She needs to dump him. I'm tired of this.
Pacey shows up at the place Tamara is selling and starts helping
Oh
her
my
get
God.
rid of trash.
I didn't even like this scene.
Mhm.
I can't.
While
I
talking-
can't because of what happens in the scene.
Yeah. While talking to her about having a real conversation with words, Pacey wants her to know that he's fine, he's grown up, and to have the last big goodbye. They say goodbye, and I thought they were going to walk away, but of
I know,
course,
all of a sudden,
like before, they kiss.
he just grabs her and oh my God.
And now, after what would be a commercial, they end their kiss, and Miss Jacobs gets upset, and Pacey asks in subtext if she misses teaching him, quote
I
unquote.
know, cool.
Yeah. She says yes, very
Gross,
much.
gross, gross,
Yeah.
gross.
She says yes, and he's relieved to hear this.
Okay, it still looks like he's kissing his mom.
Mm-hmm. Then they finally walk away from each other, thank goodness.
Finally.
Yeah. At school, Abby is ignoring Jen after she saw her with Vincent back at the dock. Jen says not to blame her for getting rejected. Abby says that's
Abby needs to calm down. The guy is old.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jen says not to blame her for getting rejected. Abby says that's Jen's specialty, not hers.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Joey meets Dawson to tell him about her behavior when it came to her art. She explains that her art is the first thing that's been important to her since him. Dawson is glad that she has this, but he doesn't want to lose what's great about the relationship. She points out how she doesn't have anything else besides him. Her entire life is attached to him. She shows him her latest drawing of something that is important to her, what inspires
Did
her.
that look like him?
And what she loves, no, it did not. It was a good drawing.
I was like, who's that?
Yeah, just of somebody else. So,
And why wouldn't she draw her nephew or her sister?
because she said that was the only thing she could come up with, and that made her mad.
But
too.
she said that's what she loved. Well, then she doesn't love her family.
She does. It just she had to draw something that was
Whatever.
important and inspires.
No,
and
I'm not
Dawson
buying
was just
it.
the main thing that like came to her head.
I'm not buying it.
Okay. So yeah, so she drew Dawson, and it was like it was good, but totally different guy. And
And then he got all happy because he knows him. I'm like, I didn't know it was you.
yeah, but she doesn't like that. He was the only thing she could come up with to draw, and if she lost him, she would be in void of anything else in her life. If she
Trust me, you'll find someone much better than him.
Yep. You
How
know,
would you
but
know?
I don't.
I know. I was
know,
gonna
yeah.
say, I told you I can't wait for the future
Mm-hmm.
and get over this stuff.
Yeah, so if she can't have something to hold on to independently from him, then she doesn't have anything at all. Dawson says he's not going anywhere and he just wants her to be happy, so he'll support her however she needs him
Or
to.
he said he won't, as in like he won't,
Be involved.
yeah, be involved. I'm
if
like,
she
well,
wants.
yeah, and it's like, well, obviously she wants you involved. You just have to shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just wants him to stop fighting. She lets him know she wasn't fighting
Oh
with
yeah,
him.
like
She was
that's
fighting with
gonna
herself.
stop. All they've done is fight since they got together.
True. At once, she wanted to push him away while also wanting to hold him really tight. He asks which part of her won. She asks if they can let this be unresolved for now. He agrees by holding her.
Not buying it.
Well, at least she's realizing this now and not later down the road when she, is older and doesn't really.
You want married to him?
Well, yeah, but doesn't like really know what she wants in her life. But she knows that she should have something, but she just doesn't know what because she never.
She's
explored
too attached to
possibilities.
him. She needs to let him go.
Pacey is walking alone now and smiles when he sees Andie in a cafe. There's so many little stores in this place. It's a little cafe, right? We only see the window.
Well, yeah. Well, she was eating, and then he
Joins her.
he joins her and
takes a
starts
bite of
eating
her
her
burger.
food.
Yeah, that was something. I was like, okay.
I was like, who does eat someone's food?
Yeah, like even if you're close, like that may
But
be a different story.
That's my
But
Pacey, so there you go.
yeah, yeah. So with the way he's acting, all cool and
He knows all about it.
yep. So Andy figures out that Dawson told him that she likes him. He acts like he doesn't know what she's talking about and how
But
her
he had
feelings.
a smirk on his face.
But she tells him that her feelings may pass, but he knows she's lying. He loves knowing that she likes him, and it looks like he moved on from Tamara quickly.
Yeah, all of a sudden he just stopped liking her, and now he's gonna be with Andie.
Yep, just reverse right back. And speaking of Tamara, they see her get in her car and drive out of town, hopefully
Yeah,
for the
and
last
then
time.
what does Andie say?
She asked if that was the woman he knew, and he said not anymore. So showing that he's officially done with her. But
And I hope to never see her again.
yeah, like but I don't know.
I know.
I hope she doesn't come back again.
I don't think she does.
Okay, good, because
So you don't have to worry about saying her name.
yeah. So we already now have maybe Vincent sticking around. We don't know yet, so that's another situation similar. Yep. So that was the last scene of the episode.
I didn't like this episode at all.
Neither did I.
It was boring.
Mm-hmm. So the highs and lows,
High.
even though most of it was low.
What the heck was the high? Oh, Jack being supportive.
Yeah, I agree.
The low was the rest of it.
Yep, basically.
Because there was no good parts besides that.
I know.
And what would you rate this boring episode?
Like a 5, the highest, maybe.
Ooh, that's high.
What's yours?
3. There was no good parts.
I know.
I knew it was bad the last episode when Miss Jacobs was coming back.
Mm-hmm. And then best and worst character?
I feel like our worst are going to be different.
Okay.
Mine is Dawson.
No surprise.
I always have a flaw with him. Then my best was very hard to choose because I didn't really care for anyone.
Yeah.
But I picked Jack because he was supportive.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't pick Andie?
No. Yeah, so Jack was the most supportive for Joey and was the only one that was really, pushing her to do more with her art. And then the worst, Dawson was really bad in this episode, but I thought Abby was also too when it came to the
Well, I said
Vincent guy.
there was a bunch.
Yeah.
But I just picked him because, I love picking him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so is Abby going to stick around with Jen for a while? Because it seems like it. I figured maybe like 1 or 2 episodes,
You
but...
really want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I like her, I just don't like her with Jen.
It's going to get ugly.
Okay.
Because remember, Jen has no friends.
Right.
But Abby. And then even in the episode, Abby said, "Aren't you glad you met me?" Obviously, because you're the only friend she has.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really sad.
Yeah. So next episode is going to be episode 5, Full Moon Rising.
Oh, so your worst was Abby.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. With Dawson coming in second.
I honestly thought you were going to say Miss Jacobs.
Oh, yeah.
Because she did kiss Pacey.
Yeah. Only she didn't sleep with him.
I know. I was actually
But that's not
waiting
much
for that.
better than,
I know that she would have been the worst for me, but she only kissed him.
Yeah.
And she's not his teacher, even
Right.
though she's still an adult.
So the next episode is called Full Moon Rising and aired on November 4th. But don't you think that they could have maybe had this one aired for the...
Yeah, but you said it was your Halloween episode.
Yes, I don't know, just the title wise, you think it'd be like a Halloween episode, Full Moon Rising, but whatever, that's what they did.
Yeah, but the ghost came back, Miss Jacobs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I guess this was the Halloween episode.
Yeah, because Pacey did look like he did see a ghost. He was spooked.
Yeah, I remember Andie said, "You look like you saw a ghost."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see what the next one is.
Hopefully better than this. I can't take these episodes.
Yeah, let's have some more happy moments.
And no more affair,
Mm-hmm.
even though...
Jen has something going on now.
No, I was just going to say it's going to go on.
Oh.
And let's have some more fighting for Dawson and Joey so they can break up, please.
Yeah, because we know that's what you want. I mean, I want it too,
Of course
but
I do. Okay, so who do you want Joey with?
I don't know. Like I said, it's just... I mean, Jack is nice, but because I've seen another episode in the future that you showed me, I know that's not a possibility.
Well,
Spoiler
it is for a
alert.
little while.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like they just haven't written the right character for anybody to be with
Huh? What?
at the moment.
No. They did
I
too. It was season 1, episode 10.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But Pacey is so into
No.
other girls right now.
He has to because of Dumbo.
So, for this episode, you're talking about Dawson being Dumbo, right?
What?
Because we just mentioned the movie.
I know, that's why I said. Because it reminded me of Dumbo.
How?
What? He's so dumb in the
Oh.
episode. And then,
Like I say, Dumbo's not really dumb. He just has his big ears.
okay, you're telling me, though, the scenes that Joey and Pacey have had are not cute.
No, they are.
Because I have my notebook.
Mm-hmm.
I can hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, we will disagree until season 3.
Okay.
And then if you're not on my side, I'm getting a new co-host.
Okay. Yep, so thanks for listening.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about this episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter at duochatpodcast and give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.